It's a cool movie, and it's got Willem Dafoe. I'll have more to say about it, obviously.
It's
That's
cool.
it.
It's got
It's
Willem
cool. It's
Dafoe.
cool. So I went to go see a movie the other day, and anyways.
I mean, that was pretty much my summaries when I first started on the show. So
Hello, everybody, and welcome to What the Hell Should I Watch? I'm Steve Stebbing,
and I'm Chloe Stebbing.
and we are the weekly rundown of what we're watching, which might become what you're watching. And we come at you every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time on stevestebbing.ca. And last week, I had the tease of new Marvel, and not only new Marvel, but new well-received Marvel.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I've been hearing good things.
Yes. So I'm really happy to come with these thoughts so you can kind of already pre-guess how I felt about this one. I also had the adaptation of a new apparently hit book series. Apparently Clown in a Cornfield has a following when it comes to the books. So we have that to talk about. Josh Hartnett doing the bullet train thing. And a film that another one. This is 2 weeks in a row. A film that just missed the VIF cut for us due to rescheduling here and there. But let's get started right now. It's fresh for your eyeballs this week, and can't lie, the MCU has had a lot of peaks and valleys in its time since the the top was blown off of the whole franchise with the Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame. And it feels like there's only been sporadic pieces of great things. I am really happy to come forward with this one. This is Thunderbolts.
After finding themselves ensnared in a death trap, an unconventional team of antiheroes must embark on a dangerous mission that will force them to confront the darkest corners of their pasts. Starring Florence Pugh, Sebastian Stan, Wyatt Russell, Olga Kurylenko, Louis Pullman, Geraldine Viswanathan, Chris Bauer, Wendell Pierce, David Harbour, Hannah John Kamen, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Directed by Jake Schreier.
Yeah, so automatically you have Florence Pugh as the lead and essentially the heart and soul of this film being Yelena, who has made the most of every opportunity she's been given in the MCU so far. She's really, really great in Black Widow, which I enjoy as a film. I feel like it's a movie that kind of got pushed aside, like all the female ones have. Like the Miss Marvel series got pushed aside. Both Captain Marvel movies, they're enjoyable films in my opinion. Captain Marvel maybe the lesser on that list. Um, Still not a bad movie though. But she has made the most of that. She made the most of her work in Hawkeye, the series, and now gets her own film. Because honestly, from the Black Widow movie, David Harbour really doesn't appear in this film. Well, he appears a little bit in the beginning of the film, but really not until almost halfway through the second act. So, but aside from that, I mean, Hannah John Kamen's really good in this film. I don't know a lot of her work, honestly, besides Ant-Man and the Wasp and her playing the villain. But this film is about, either former bad guys or people that have mistakes in their past. These are Marvel characters that exist in the gray area and uses them to tell a story that is largely about mental health and the importance of mental health. Like, because even the villain, the because I mean, for comic fans, when you bring up the name of Bob Reynolds and the Sentry, a lot of comic fans know that character and also know what it entails. So I don't know. You've seen trailers for this movie, right? Have you seen the trailer where it looks like it's making people disappear into like a
I
shadow?
I think so. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's because that's the void, which is the other side of Sentry. Because he's got multiple personalities. Bob Reynolds is Sentry, and he's also the void. The void's like the uncontrollable part of him. But which is largely also like a mental health parable.
Right.
Like, so I think it does a smart job in doing that. The script is really, really solid. I really enjoyed that, and I'll get to that in a second. But as far as the movie goes, I thought the movie was really well paced, really great on character work. And Wyatt Russell's really great. Reminds you again that he is Kurt Russell's son. Like, holy crap, he looks like so much like his dad. It is just absolutely uncanny, and like I enjoyed the cast through to the villains and everything. Julie Louis Dreyfus is really great. They really play to her strengths. Jake Schreier, he's not a big budget director. He did a movie with Frank Langella called Robot and Frank in like 2012 that I really liked. And then he did like a teen like romantic drama comedy called Paper Towns. I think that was like 2015, 2016. Cara Delevingne's in it. Um, but aside from that, done a lot of television. He did 6 episodes of that Jim Carrey show, Kidding. He did Beef with Steven Yeun
Okay.
and Ali Wong. He did Brand New Cherry Flavor, a few episodes of that, which is such a weird and twisted show. It's got Rosa Salazar in it. It's really interesting. And he did a show that I loved that was canceled way too soon called I'm Dying Up Here, which is about comics, stand-up comics in the 70s at it's the Comedy Store, but they, due to licensing and everything, they can't call it the Comedy Store, so they just kind of like make a news story in here. But he's a solid director, so for him to get a win like this is pretty cool. And it was shot by Andrew Draws Palermo, who did a lot of work with David Lowery. He did one of my favorite movies, probably honestly of all time, The Green Knight with Dev Patel. Just an incredible, incredible film. I did a Ghost Story with Casey Affleck and Rooney Mara, and one that you might know, You're Next.
Yeah.
Did that? He shot that film, and that film's fucking gorgeous. So well done. I love that show, that film. That's Wingard's best in my opinion. Um, he also did the series Moon Knight. He did some episodes, so he did work for Benson and Moorhead on that one, so that's cool. It was written by Eric Pearson, whose connection in the Marvel world is Thor Ragnarok, Black Widow, Agent Carter, and he did all those Marvel one-shot things, like the extra little movies that would appear on like Blu-rays during the first couple phases of the cinematic universe. But he also did Godzilla versus Kong and Transformers 1. So Transformers 1 is fun. It was also written by Joanna Callow, writes a lot and produces The Bear, and wrote a bunch of episodes for BoJack Horseman, which is, I love BoJack Horseman. Such a great show for depressing people. The score for this one was done by Sun Lux, who is actually a trio of musicians. It's kind of like a melting pot of musicians, but they did the score for Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I love the score for that film. It's really, really good. And a film I saw at VIFF, I want to say 2017, maybe 2016, called Mean Dreams. Bill Paxton was in that, so it was when he was still alive, or it might have come out posthumously. I'm not sure. I might be wrong on that. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to put up the poster for Jordan Peele's Nope. That's what I've been doing to say that I'm wrong.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Nope.
Fun fact. Florence Pugh actually jumped off the Merdeka 118 in Kuala Lumpur for the beginning scene of the film, which is the second tallest building in the world. It's 2,227 feet tall, and there's no CG or stunt double on that one. She actually begged to get that one. Um, she really wanted to do it, and she said
Okay.
after she did this stunt, she was so spent that she just passed out for like 3 hours. Stephen Ewan was actually originally cast in this film. He was going to play Bob in this movie, but he there was scheduling conflicts, so Lewis Pullman was cast, and the rest is history. And apparently, he was really disappointed he couldn't do the film, and still wants to do an MCU film. So that's see Stephen Ewan at some point in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And also, Ao Debris is supposed to be in this movie, but she had to be recast with Geraldine Viswanathan. It's like an assistant role, so it's not like a big deal. Also, the Russo brothers are officially back in the MCU because they do the post-credit scene on this one. And this is also the final film of Phase 5 in Marvel. So the next film kicks off Phase 6.
What does that mean?
It's just the chunk of story that they're telling.
Okay. 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 I see.
Yeah. So there's something really kind of big that caps off the end of this movie.
Okay.
So setting off a new direction. The beginning of Phase 6 with the end stinger as well,
Okay.
which I thought was a pretty big reveal, given that this movie is a couple of months away from being released. Like Phase 6 is literally in like June.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, June 20th. Fantastic Four comes out.
Oh, right. 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 I
Yeah.
totally forgot that Fantastic Four was the Marvel universe.
Yeah. And it's like setting up a new path kind of, because it's like set in like the 60s or the
Yeah. It's
50s.
it. Yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always happy to see more Pedro. So I'm excited for
Right? Not
Fantastic
only
Four.
Pedro, but you also get Joseph Quinn. You get Ebon Moss Bacharach as the Things, but he's
Yeah.
mostly CG. And then Vanessa Kirby. I think it's such good casting. She's my favorite casting for that film. And then Galactus. Like, there's going to be a lot of fun in this movie. It kind of like boosts up Marvel a little bit, gives it a little extra cheddar, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean,
So,
like I've completely clocked out of Marvel movies for the
mhm.
past few years now. I mean, the last one that I gave a damn about and actually went and saw was Spider-Man
No Way Home.
Homecoming, no, or yeah, no Way Home, because it's the
The
one where
one
they
with
brought back
back all.
Toby, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Ever since then, yeah. Daredevil's really good. The Daredevil series is
okay,
really good. Really good. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still a MCU fanboy in the end. Like, it just still comes out of me. Let's move on. Let's do a genre shift here, and let's move on to something silly, but definitely something horror. This is Clown in a Cornfield.
a fading Midwestern town in which Friendo the Clown, a symbol of bygone success, reemerges as a terrifying scourge. Starring Katie Douglas, Aaron Abrams, Carson McCormick, Kevin Durand, and Will Sasso. Written and directed by Eli Craig, based on the novel by Adam Cesar.
So let's just get it out of the way right away. Big ups. Kevin Durand is your movie. Like,
Okay,
oh shit, yes.
Kevin in this, literally, I think the best I've seen him. Like seeing him in this film, I don't really like the film, by the way. He's just channeling such like Joker energy,
Yeah.
and it made me want to see him play the Joker.
Yeah.
Like he's
That
just absolutely insane in this one.
yeah. Yeah. It's a genre performance. Also, Will Sasso. I'm always a fan of seeing Ladner's own Will Sasso show up in a film, especially a horror film. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. This is not a vast step down. I realize he also did Little Evil on Eli Craig did Little Evil with Adam Scott on Netflix, which I've
I
never
think I know
seen.
what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I may
where
have seen it.
he marries a girl with a kid, and the kid is like the kid from The Omen. He might be the Antichrist.
There's so many movies like that.
Yeah, that's the story, but also a comedy. It's a slasher, so I think you're like predestined probably not to like it. You
That's
generally
possible.
you generally don't like slashers, right?
I'd say no simply because no slasher I can call to memory right now actually knows how to write a script or have a story that actually isn't dumb. And just like the kids like continuously like preaching to the adults and being like, we're the future, we're the next generation, we're not gonna be like you. It's like, holy fuck, dude. I don't know, it was just there was some funny moments that were just absolutely dogpiled by cringe.
The rotary phone and stick shift thing made
Oh,
me
holy
laugh a
fuck.
lot.
It made me cringe. Like I was like, really? Like it's not like Kate, the stick shift thing I get. And I was like, stick shift should be illegal. Like that's what I said when that was happening. Um Manual cars should be illegal. Post your hate comments below.
You will get them.
I hope so. That's engagement.
Yeah, that's true.
But the rotary phone, it's like, I mean, you could probably figure it out if you paid attention for like 5 seconds. Not just be like, huh? I don't get it. Oh my god.
I don't know. There are certain things that made me laugh about this film.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
didn't hate it. I didn't hate it at all. I'd probably land on a 3 out of 5 for it if I'm
Julius hated this film.
thoroughly like
Yes,
hated it.
thoroughly. Yeah.
Oh
The
boy.
only thing that he liked was Kevin Durand because he also has like a little crush on him. So yeah, like we just love Kevin Durand over here. But
Gotcha.
no,
Gotcha.
everything else was despised.
We just gave a whole bunch of the movie plot away, so we just cut a whole bunch of stuff.
You
A
guys will
lot of
never
stuff.
know.
You'll never know what we talked about. The
We
film was
talked
shot.
about you.
Yeah, it talked about you specifically. It was shot by Brian Pearson, who did the Insidious Chapter 3. He did Drive Angry and My Bloody Valentine 3D. Have you ever seen that movie? That movie's fun.
No, not. Wait, maybe.
With Jensen Ackles.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I recommend it. It's fun. It's a fun movie.
Okay.
He also did the series C, the Jason Momoa series.
Yeah, I've been crawling my way through that one.
Yeah. So Brian Pearson shoots a bunch of that. Bonus fact, he did the View Askew movie drawing flies in the 90s. Yeah, you're like, what? View
I don't
Askew
know
is
what's
the
happening.
company that Kevin Smith owns.
Oh, oh, okay.
The score, standard horror score, but the guy that did it, Brandon Roberts, has a solid background in horror because he did Thanksgiving. Eli Roth's Thanksgiving came out last year. He did Fear Street Part 2, the 1972 one, because the other composer on this one did Marcus Trump, no relation. He has two P's in his name. Did the first part 1994 and the last part 1666.
Okay.
So, and then they collaborated for this film, Woman in Black 2, and the film that I talked about earlier, Little Evil. But Brandon Roberts also did Underwater with Kristen Stewart.
Okay.
Have you seen that one?
Um, I I kept like I remember being like I need to watch this and then not watching it.
Yeah, it's William Eubank. It's a pretty solid film. But he also is doing did Andor. So, but yeah, unless you're like a glutton for horror, you'll probably watch this. But otherwise, I don't know. I don't think it's super necessary.
That's the reason I watched it because I'll watch anything
Exactly.
horror you shove in front of me. So
Well, speaking of stuff that I'll watch in any case, if you're a movie like Bullet Train or just like a crazy romp in like some vehicle in, I don't know, underwater in space or whatever, I'll watch it. I'll watch it, and especially if you have a great lead. And this one has both. This is fight or flight.
A mercenary takes on the job of tracking down a target on a plane, but must protect her when they're surrounded by people trying to kill both of them. Starring Josh Hartnett, Charithra Chandran, Marco Zaror, and Katie Sackhoff. Directed by James Madigan.
In his film debut, and directs this just insane piece of bloody and massively gory action. Like, this movie sets you up with a little bit of gore here and there, but by the time that they're throwing Josh Hartnett a chainsaw in the plane and he's ripping through people, like, it is insane. There is just crazy ass moments. I absolutely love this one. Josh Hartnett gets to go for comedic ring this time. Like, it felt in Trap like it was like an inadvertent like extra thing that we got this campy and hilarious
Yeah, I
Josh
don't think
Hartnett's
that was supposed
performance.
to happen.
No, I think it's just that it's the in the delivery of how he was doing this.
It was just absurd. It was like
It was absolutely absurd. This one is absurd, yes, but also it's funny. Like, it's trying to be funny and fun, and I think
it's intentional.
yeah, I think it all lands. Like, it does feel very like B Hollywood. It feels very John Wick a lot, but it feels like John Wick B. But I think it also excels on that fact alone as well. But Josh Hartnett is just so damn great. I really, really love him in this movie. For James Madigan going balls to the wall for like a first film, like this movie's wild. Matt Flannery shot this one. I talked about him last week because he shot Havoc, but he also shot the Raid, the Raid Redemption and the Raid 2 Barandal. So he knows how to shoot a fight scene. So this film looks amazing at all times. It was written by Brooks McLaren, who wrote a Netflix film called How It Ends, which I'm wondering if you've watched because Theo James is in it. And it's like I think it's a post-apocalyptic film from what I can understand.
I know of it.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen it.
The other weird thing is this film was also written by an actor named DJ Catrona, who did he was in GI Joe Retaliation, and he was also in Shazam. He was like one of the like the Shazam family, like how the orphan kids get the power of Shazam at the end of the first movie. He's one of those guys.
The orphan kids.
Yeah, well, they're foster kids, the foster family. They're not orphans; they're foster kids. Sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. I was generalizing. I'm sorry,
Post
orphans.
orphans.
I'm sorry, orphans, and I'm sorry, foster kids. You're both different.
Well,
You're all different.
they're at different stages in orphanhood.
Yes. 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 To make it clear. Thanks, Chloe. Thank you. Thank you for keeping me honest on that one. It says debut as a writer. Oh, he was also on From Dusk Till Dawn, the series they made for El Rey, which is actually a pretty cool show. He's like one of the main characters. And the score was done by Paul Saunderson, who did Three Identical Strangers, which is a really, really great documentary about people finding out that they have twins in the world. It's really, really good. And he did the score for Strike Back, so kind of an action show, so it kind of fits with Fight or Flight. But a damn cool movie, and I think it would play well in theaters. I watched it on a screener, but I bet it would play well. But it's a cool film. All right, let's move on to a film that we didn't see at VIFF, but it played VIFF. This one's called Sharp Corner.
A dedicated family man becomes obsessed with saving the lives of the car accident victims on the sharp corner in front of his house, an obsession that could cost him everything. Starring Ben Foster and Kobe Smulders. Written and directed by Jason Buxton, based on the short story by Russell Wangersky.
So this is Jason Buxton's second film. He made a film called Blackbird in 2012. which was did feel like a very indie film. This film feels so very very polished, and I think it comes through mostly with Ben Foster's performance in this one, which is very soft spoken, and he's kind of a meek kind of individual, and that comes through also in the marriage, because then you find out that he was passed over for a promotion. He's not an overly ambitious human being, blah blah blah. Basically, the day they move into their new place, a drunk teenager smashes into the tree outside of their living room, and the tire from his car goes flying through their front window. And
Okay,
so
cool.
it sets it up like, I mean, and the teenager dies. Um, and that, yeah, by the way, and then a couple months later, it happens again. Another car accident happens, and it's just like a really bad corner right where his house is, and it causes multiple accidents that create more trauma on him.
Right.
So
This sounds right up my alley. I don't know how I wasn't aware of this.
I think you should still request it, because it's a damn good movie. It really 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 surprised me. Ben Foster is really great. Kobe Smulders is good too. You can understand kind of both of their plight in this, as living in this house and the effect that this dangerous corner has on him starts to tear their marriage apart. It's really really well done, and beautifully shot. Guy Godfrey did this one. He did an indigenous film called Slashback. It's like a monster movie that's really really cool. It's really well done, and really inventive, and I liked it a lot. And he did that one. He also did Let Him Go, which is a Kevin Costner film with Diane Lane, which is a solid kind of Western noir, like neo Western noir, I'll call it, like probably set in the 50s, I think. And he also did Buffaloed with Zoe Dutch, which is just a great movie, a really, really great and funny movie. But Viff Flashback, Guy Godfrey also did Maudie with Sally Hawkins, which is a film I checked out at Viff that didn't come out for like 6 to 8 months after I saw it. It took a while to hit theaters. Mongrel bought it, then it finally hit theaters. But he also did indigenous show called Little Bird, that's available on Crave. That's really really well done. And the score for this film was by Stephen McKeon, who did The Damned, which is like a kind of gothic Norse horror film that I watched a handful of weeks ago that I'm going to bring to the show later.
Yeah, it's fairly recent.
Yeah, you watched it too?
I haven't seen it, but
Okay.
again, it's one of those things that I've been meaning to.
Yeah. Yeah, I suggest watching it because it's on my list to talk about eventually. So we'll come at it together. He also did the score for Evil Dead Rise,
Nice, love it.
which solid stuff. And because of that, because he worked with Lee Cronin, he did Lee Cronin's first film, which is called The Hole in the Ground. So, but Sharp Corner is a film that I can say absolutely surprised me. I was really shocked by this one. I did not think it was going to be that good. And when I asked the king of Canadian cinema, Bill, about it, he was like, "That's okay." All right, let's move on to a movie that I drove to Kelowna to go see. I went the distance, and honestly, I'm going to say it now, found my only recliner seats in the Okanagan. And so I was in comfort for this film. It's The Legend of Ochi.
In a remote village on the island of Carpathia, a shy girl is raised to fear an elusive animal species known as Ochi. But when she discovers a wounded baby Ochi has been left behind, she escapes on a quest to bring him home. Starring Helena Zengel, Finn Wolfhard, Emily Watson, and Willem Dafoe. Written and directed by Isaiah Saxon. I actually did see the trailer for this, and the Ochi just reminds me of like Baby Yoda. It's just revamped Baby Yoda to
A
me.
little bit of Baby Yoda, a little bit of Gizmo in there. It's like, again, it's the artistry of puppetry that really gets me and really keeps me engaged with this. And this film is beautiful. When the trailer for this one initially came out, a lot of people are saying that it looked like AI made a movie, and it does have some of that kind of polish to it that makes me feel like that. But it's still like I've seen video, like it's all practical, like or matte painting or a little bit of CG. Like it was a practically made film. It feels really Eastern European. The whole film feels like it has a filter of being like made in Eastern Europe, and like
Weird.
I think even the signage is in like Russian or something. Helena Zengel has a very Eastern European look to her. She's German, right? But she leans more into like she feels like she could play a Russian real easy.
Okay.
And I saw her before in a film. It was actually the only Western with Tom Hanks. It was called News of the World. It came out during the pandemic. It was a really, really great film that I liked. It was done by Paul Greengrass, who did the Bourne movies. But I don't know. And this guy, it has Willem Dafoe, who's great. Just always just chewing scenery. He's just so great at it. And Emily Watson, I really like as well. But I don't know, just like a really bold debut for Isaiah Saxon. I mean, the only thing that I can note in his filmography, he made a music video for Bjork. So I don't know that for me that kind of gives him cred like right away. And it was shot by Evan Porosovsky. It's his debut as a cinematographer on a feature film as well. But he's made some banger music videos. He did Lord's Yellow Flicker Beat. He did Lana Del Rey's West Coast, and he did Arcade Fire's Afterlife. So he's definitely dabbled in some cool shit. And the score is by David Longstreth, and he's the lead vocalist, guitarist, and songwriter for the indie band The Dirty Projectors, who have been around since probably a couple years after you were born, actually. And this is his debut feature as well. So this is from like largely a team that has not done a feature film before. So it makes it even more big, in my opinion. But this movie has sat on the shelf for a while before getting a release, and I think it's just not knowing what audience to bring it out for. So there were people at the screening that I saw it. So there were still people checking this one out weeks after release. So yay. Yay for
Yay.
cinema. Let's finish off the segment with a documentary. This is I Know Catherine, the Log Lady.
Explores Catherine E. Coulson's life and her role as Twin Peaks log lady, featuring interviews and archival footage that reveal her artistic journey and the character's cultural significance. Directed by Richard Green.
So I mean, being a massive Twin Peaks fan and a fan of The Return, this is like almost feels like an accompanying piece to that, especially with The Return, given that Catherine E. Coulson's final performance as the Log Lady was done at her home because she was too sick to with cancer to travel to go shoot it. So they had to rework the scene and everything. And it does encapsulate like quite a bit of the B plot of this film, the A plot being telling her life story. I just wish that they didn't mash the timelines up so much. The editing and execution of this film really, really fail it and really make it a frustrating watch. I appreciate and I love all the sentiment behind making this film, behind celebrating Catherine E. Coulson's life. An absolute legend beyond being the log lady on Twin Peaks, because she was also like a very important figure in theater and I mean, and within David Lynch's career, going back to Eraserhead, and she was married to Jack Nance, the main of Eraserhead, and also Pete Martell in Twin Peaks. But yeah, I think that this is really only for the deep rooted Twin Peaks fan that wants to take in every possible media of it that they can, which is me. I think I was just wished that it was done better. It felt lesser than what it could be. And I think that was just just the weird ordering of it, like such a bummer. But yeah, ending that one on a down note. So let's move on to what you can watch now on physical disc. All right, so this one's been out for a while, and granted, you can also stream it just as easy than buying the DVD, the Blu-ray for it. But I got the Blu-ray a while back, and I finally got around to watching it. This is Good Burger 2.
After his latest invention fails, Dex is welcomed back by Ed to his old job at Good Burger, which is once again put in jeopardy when Dex devises a plan to get back on his feet. Starring Kenan Thompson and Kel Mitchell, directed by Phil Trail, also available on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I mean, you can just stream it, honestly. You don't need to get the Blu-ray, but I have the steelbook of the first movie, so it kind of just I needed it in a sense. I mean, what can I really say about this movie? This is Nickelodeon celebrating itself like 25 years, or more than 25 years later, because the first film came out, I think, in 96, 97, run there. Do you ever see Good Burger?
No,
Or
Julius likes a good burger, but it never really interests me.
does he know Keenan and Kel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was like it's a spinoff of the series. I was too old for it when it was prominent, so it wasn't really my thing. I watched Good Burger fairly recently for the first time, and it's 90s insanity. So it just kind of I revel in that chaos sometimes. I think it's fun, and this film like replicates 90s chaos in a 2023-24 movie, which is kind of weird to say. Pete Davidson's in it. I don't know. The callbacks to the other ones, Carmen Electra comes back in it, and Sinbad, only in voice only. Legendary stand-up comedian Sinbad. But Phil Trail, the director of this film, he's known for making one of the worst films of all time. He made a film called All About Steve with Sandra Bullock, which is
Okay.
which is largely regarded as one of the worst shows ever. But he also did a lot of the episodes of The Middle,
Oh, that's
uh,
cool.
and a new show that I'm actually going to talk about for the streaming portion, Saint Dennis Medical. He does a bunch of those episodes. And it was shot by, I know I'm bringing all of these, but just because I'm a nerd. It was shot by Jay Hunter, who did a movie called Life After Beth with Aubrey Plaza, where she's a zombie. It's a fun film. I did the Joss Whedon Much Ado About Nothing, and the mockumentary with Charlene Yee and Michael Cera called Paper Heart, as well as most of the episodes of Garfunkel and Oates, the show that they had. Short lived. I think it was only 9 episodes. But technically, there already was a sequel to this movie because there was a book called Good Burger 2 Go, published in 1998. A book. This movie does not follow it. When this movie debuted, it became the most watched Paramount Plus original film. I wonder if it's been beaten since, but it beat the reigning champ at the time, which was Pet Cemetery Bloodlines. So,
That
which
movie was bad.
yeah, it wasn't great. It was not great. So
I
I
don't
don't
think
know if
that's a
that's a
very high bar to
I don't
clear.
know if that's a great record. This movie came out 26 years after the first movie to make all of those people that watched the show at the time when we're young and in love with their lives at the time old. I don't know. There's apparently a hidden QR code that takes you to a blooper reel. I like you're like the useless information on that just hurts my brain. It's
But
good.
it's no, why hide it though? Like,
They really didn't want people to see their blooper reel.
God, please don't look at
Please
this.
don't
But we
look
are
at
going to
this.
put it in here.
We're gonna hide it as a QR code. Please don't look at it. Please don't. I mean, if you're not gonna like get recommended Good Burger 2. is what I'm saying at the end of this.
Anybody who recommends Good Burger 2, I don't think you want to be friends with them.
No.
No.
Anyway, moving on.
Try stay away from them.
Yeah. Not this show, though. You should keep watching this show. Oh, what can you get now on your streaming services? Upwards inflection at the end. Services. 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 Well, you
Survey
can.
says.
Survey says. Potato salad. Show me
That's a
potato
thing?
salad. It's from Family Guy, I think.
I know.
Show me potato salad.
Such a specific line.
It is. This is the long edition. All right. There's a new mockumentary office-like show that I kind of stumbled upon on Crave. And I really like the cast, so I continued on it. It's called St. Denis Medical.
It follows an underfunded, understaffed hospital where Wendy McLendon Covey, Allison Tolman, Josh Lawson, Kayin Kim, Mekhi Leeper, David Allen Greer, and Kaliko Kuahi. Created by Eric Legend and Justin Spitzer, available on Crave. Isn't Justin Spitzer also the guy who created Superstore?
That's right. That's my only trivia about it is Justin Spitzer created Superstore with us.
Okay, who is she in that?
Linda.
Who is she familially?
Not Toni Collette. Not the main.
Okay, yeah. Oh, the sister-in-law.
Yeah, sister-in-law. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, David Koechner's wife. Yeah, I love Allison Tolman. She's really funny. And David Allen Greer is a legend. Like in Living Color, like going way back. He is an absolute legend. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. It really just feels like one of those shows that kind of just went under the radar for so long that they were just able to keep making seasons.
Yeah, I don't know. But maybe at St. Denis Medical will do the same thing. It's like Scrubs in The Office, and they like just punched together. Yeah, and that's what it became. Because it is that inane as well. So okay. I don't know. So far, so good. But Crave's got it all. Almost ready to get out of here. I know it's been a long episode, but I added some stuff to my library that I want to talk about. That's right. New to the library. I got some South Korean thriller from Wellgo USA, your favorite company.
Wells Fargo.
Wells Fargo. And I love a good South Korean film. Like it's like I like at VIF, I like seek them out. Like I got to see which and from like, oh, what did this director do? Oh, I've seen that one. Like I seek them out. So Escape is one that I wanted to see because it had very, very good reviews. It follows the struggles of a North Korean sergeant in a cat and mouse chase against Major after he defects from the army. It's totally my type of film. Like immediately, like I love the cat and mouse stuff, and especially like defecting military through the demilitarized zone and all that stuff. Like it's definitely gonna be cool. So excited about that. An absolute classic I added to my library. I got the Blu-ray of Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, which I feel like I was just talking about last week because I brought up Anthony Anderson. And then this magically lands with me, and possibly one of the best stoner films of all time. Like on the hill of greatness. Not the Mount Rushmore. I can't pick 4. I will not pick 4, especially with Cheech and Chong being so close to my heart. But Harold and Kumar has to be in the conversation. And speaking of things to watch when you're really high, I got the complete series of Mr. Show. Do you know Mr. Show?
No.
The Mr. Show with Bob and David. Bob being Bob Odenkirk and David being David Cross. Do you know it? Do you know the show at all?
No, but I love Bob Odenkirk and David Cross.
As doing comedy together, the most absurd comedy stuff that you've ever seen. It's so weird. It ran on HBO. This is where Tenacious D came from. Jack Black is a supporting cast member in season 1.
Okay, weird.
This is must see, Chloe. I feel like this is like must see for you. I think there's so much quotable stuff from this show too. Like it's really, really, really funny. It's really dark in a lot of places, and it's just it's maniacally absurd. Like it really is, and especially knowing Bob Odenkirk one way, seeing him this way is going to be really interesting. And then I have 2 movie recommendations after you watch this series. But anyways, so that ends that. A little tight next week, but what are we going to be talking about? That's right, taste of next week, and I'm leading with a Netflix movie because, like I said, it's a tight week. This film is called Nona's. It's got Vince Vaughn in it. It is a comedy drama. It's him, Lorraine Bracco, Talia Shire, Susan Sarandon's in it. So it's older ladies, but I didn't have anything bigger to go on. I have a film that I'm coaxing Chloe to watch called Ash, as well as Bloody Axe Wound. So we'll see if we can tag team both of those movies next week. Bloody Axe Wound, if you want to watch along, is on Shudder, and Ash is on Prime Video. So you can see what you thought and what I thought. Who knows? Also, Nona's is on Netflix, but nobody's watching that.
Not a soul. Just you.
Just me. One viewer. But that brings us to the end of this. I'm going to say a long episode. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Threads, and Blue Sky at the Stevel Dead.
You can find me on Letterboxd at HoneyBunChloe.
You can find all the episodes of this show on stevestebbing.ca, or you can look up the YouTube page. Just look up Steve Stebbing or the Stevel Dead, and you'll find it there. And then you can also hear us on shiftheads.ca. And you can hear me every week on Shane Hewitt and the Night Shift, Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Toronto's News Talk 1010, found on the iHeartRadio network. And that empties out our list for this week. So until next week, bye-bye.
The tagline for Gator Lake is "He's a big sumbitch."